Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Melanie King has a video out, and the title is "Nice Guys Always Lose and Melanie Proves Why." In this video, Melanie King actually confesses to a lot of truths, and I want to tip my hat to her for it because that's a very grown and adult thing to do. I also want to say this. One of the things she says is very telling, and it shows you that they're at war with us. Melanie King is not at war with us, but if a man were to choose her and she chose that same man and she gets into a relationship, let alone a marriage with that man, she will be at war with that man. This means she still has some of the programming of an enemy in her. Ms. King, if you're listening, I'm not saying any of this to disparage you, and I'm not going to say anything about you that does not involve something you have said. So I'm treating you as an adult who's confessed to certain things, taking ownership and accountability, and respectfully. But I'm also going to say something that, if you can take it, can help you to unprogram yourself. The final ends of the unprogramming yourself. Because you're not the only one to go through this. Understand two things. Number one, not only Ms. King, but many ladies who are allies do not recommend that you get passports and you bounce. And that's because they understand that what that means is that the options dry up. And that's not something women are willing to deal with. And I think that's exactly what the hell Western women need to face. And I think they can face it. I know Ms. King can. She doesn't want to, but she can. She may have to. But one of the things she said to that man, that 36-year-old man, is that women don't bring peace. She said, even I don't bring peace. Now, that's a very grown-up thing to confess. So I tip my hat to you for that as an adult, Ms. King. However, what we men must learn from that, we still must learn. Why does she not bring peace? She knows all that she knows and tells us, so why does she not bring peace? Because she doesn't have to. She's had a young man and an old man. One in a video after this one that I just named. Another one in the video before this one that I named. She's had two dudes recently shoot their shot at her. She's got too many options to feel that she even needs to learn to bring peace. Her youth is gone, but her looks have stayed. Why doesn't she bring peace? Why don't the others bring peace? Ain't nothing forcing them to. And one thing that would force them to even, it would force them, but they still wouldn't do it. And that is the passport. International options. You being willing to marry the sisters of the same men these women would never consider because they're hypergamous. That's what it would take. They still wouldn't learn it because the West programs them. And she knows that the West programs them, but it doesn't mean that she can just deprogram herself right off the bat. And what I'm saying is that that's one thing we got to force on women that are allies and women that on women that are enemies. A lack of options. I told you male chastity is an answer for a reason. See, here women got fresh out of control when the government stopped letting men under 30 marry foreign women. Pretty much trapping men under 30 into local markets. I'm not joking. Men still did certain things, like they would just go to other countries and marry abroad, and they would stay with these ladies until they were 30 and they could get permission to marry them inside the country, and then they would bring the women in. So they would still, let's say they might go ahead and marry at 25. And for the first 5 years, they just go and visit these wives every chance they get. Then they get the permission in the country when they're 30 to marry, go marry her according to this nation's laws, and then bring her in as a wife. That's what men would do. But what they were not, some of these men were simply not going to tolerate being stuck with Saudi women. They were like, no, we're not doing that. You ain't gonna stick us like that. A lot of men did feel stuck, but there were other men that said, no, we're not gonna do that. Absolutely not. Why? Because you don't deserve that. And honestly, it wasn't really a lot of the women that were the problem. Some of the women were. A lot of times their brothers and their dads and even their mothers were the problem, because a woman might set a dowry that was reasonable so she could get married, and the dad would step in, the mom would step in, the brothers would step in and say, you're not getting married that easily. That's too easy on the man, and our family honor and prestige is at stake. Man, shuck that fit. But a lot of these women here can't bring peace because they're spoiled. And these are women that don't just go disrespecting their husbands like that. Men say that their wives from the Philippines can bring peace. Especially black men say this. Men say that their wives from Thailand can bring peace, especially black men. They're more likely to say this than white dudes. Men will say that the Indonesian wives can bring peace. My wife can bring peace. Every so often, that American programming jumps up and I swat it right off the bat. But for the most part, she brings peace. I'm telling you, gentlemen, that even when one like Miss King maturely confesses that she doesn't bring peace, what you must do is give them no other choice but to bring peace when they are young and attractive, or lose out permanently and forever, and lose out to women on whom they would look down because of their passports and citizenships and the GDPs of their respective countries. Make them lose. And in order to do that, you got to practice male chastity, and some of you won't be able to leave, and you're going to have to be willing to be by yourselves. See, she told that man, your chastity is not a flex, sir. Women don't like chaste men. They like men with options. She was right. Passports are an option, gentlemen. Absolutely. And that's ironically one thing that I, if memory serves me right, even heard her talk against. So get those options, gentlemen. Get the options for the ones who bring peace when they're young and attractive. And don't give yourself as an option to women who come from places that don't do so, because they're programmed not to give you peace, not to bring you peace. They're programmed at some point, even when they don't mean to be anymore. They're still programmed to not want you to enjoy yourself. It is your it is your happiness they're against. And to a certain extent, they just feel you don't deserve that. And that's why they can't bring themselves to bring you peace. And when you understand that, then you understand that your passport is a weapon in this war. It is a weapon of evasion. Thanks for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual power. Black heterosexual non-select male power until they bring peace. And black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.